Crypto holders, what is up? Got a slight problem. It's called the 50-week exponential moving average. You can talk about the simple moving average too. We've closed below it. Question now becomes, is what we're seeing in the markets right now a representation of the dysfunction caused by a 6-week government shutdown that seized up liquidity across the system, or is this the beginning of the end? We're going to find out pretty soon. We got a lot to cover in today's video. We got stocks. We got crypto. We got hopium. You guys know love the hopium, okay? Let's go. So, answering your question second half of the stream, make sure you stick around. In case you're wondering why I'm moving back and forth. By the way, looking at myself in the video. In case you're wondering why I'm moving back and forth slightly, I'm using the exercise bike today. We're maxing out here on the streams, guys. We're doing the red light hats. We're doing the exercise bike. We're drinking water. It's a crazy time. Now, this is a great meme. You were meant to destroy the Bears, not join them. I hate you. I loved you, McRib. You were my brother. Anyway, great movie scene in an otherwise questionable movie. Continuing. It's a solid one as well. You actually think Bitcoin is going to $200,000? $1 million. $1 million. Classic. This is very interesting, by the way. Now, we shared this JP Morgan prediction the other day. If these MFers end up being right, okay, and Bitcoin really bottoms out at $94,000, I went to like 93,800 or something. Okay, sure. But if it really bottoms out at $94,000, oh man, and then we smash up to 170K over the next 6 months or something like that. Oh, the heads, like you're literally going to see actual heads just like explode around here. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Ryan Dietrich, things you usually don't see when the S&P 500 is 2.3% away from its all-time highs. The Economist, another over-the-top bearish cover about how a crash is imminent, because the Economist basically gets everything right all the time, don't they? No, they're a massive contrarian signal, basically everything wrong all the time. AA2 bears at 49%, the highest of stocks near all-time highs since April 2013. CNN, fear and greed and extreme fear. Oh. Lark, you're killing me on that bike. Yeah. We'll see how we go. Working the cardio here, guys. Try and burn a few extra calories. This is very interesting. By the way, things you see at the top, right? The greatest investor of all time, Warren effing Buffett. Berkshire Hathaway bought 17.8 million shares of Google. Can we just say, Warren Buffett top blasted Google. Now, you tell me. You tell me. Warren Buffett just top blasted Google. You think he did that because he thinks the cycle's over and everything's going to fucking zero? Stanley Druckenmiller also bought a crap ton of Google. Very interesting. Did you have a cheeky line before you went live? No. I do not do such things. No, I've never got into that. A lot of my friends growing up did, but I always say, you know what, guys? Cool, just a beer, man. It's going to be fine. Anyway, a lark is a kind of bird in the UK. It's actually named after the bird. So is a great tit. Oh, Mom, you missed out on a big opportunity. You could have named me the Great Tit. Would have made life pretty interesting. I got to tell you. Hi, I'm the Great Tit. It's a bird, guys. It's a bird. Get your heads out of the gutter. Anyway, that's interesting, isn't it? So the biggest, most famous, most successful investors in the history of investing are out here top blasting Google because the cycle's over, obviously. Japan, check this out. $110 billion stimulus package. The liquidity will flow. It'll flow. President Trump is... Why is all these pages refreshing? President Trump is cutting tariffs on 100+ food items. Good. That's going to help with inflation. Okay. That is really good. That is great. It's going to bring inflation back down for all those key food items. Really, really positive. What's the story of AI16Z? Shaw took my money again. That's what happened. I knew it. What was I thinking riding that crazy train again? AI16Z rebranded into Eliza OS. Then all this crap in that market happened. Anyway. Lark's not even on a bike, just sat there rocking back and forth in a straitjacket from the crypto market. That could be true. Until I see evidence to the contrary, that may be exactly what's happening. Mark Caruso. We're walking into perhaps the best seasonal time of the year, the best stocks of the year oversold amidst most managers significantly underperforming, with news that even Buffett's group is now buying AI tech. Tie that together with fear levels in his FOMO indicator here. You can see down here, right here. So this is percent of NASDAQ stocks with their 5-day average. Okay. So when you hit the red levels, means market's overheated. When you hit the green levels, means BTFD. Buy that dip, guys. S&P 500 futures have pulled back significantly. They're up about 0.6%, 0.7% at one point earlier today. Now, as we're getting nearer to New York Open, everyone's getting jittery again. Holy shit, time to nuke everything on New York Open again. Look at this. Asia wakes up. You know what Asia does when they wake up? They buy. You know what the Europeans do when they wake up? They buy. You know what the Americans do when they wake up? Sell everything. Just full stack Hitler on everything all the time. Anyway. NASDAQ futures still up 0.4%. Futures are still in the green, okay? It's not bad. Looking okay. DXY hit resistance, pulled back. We still want to see it go down more. A weaker dollar is good for risk assets. I put this here on gold. This is 90 days from the gold peak. Usually, Bitcoin's got about a 90-day lag for its major moves behind gold. That actually was the move at the start of March. Fascinating. Can anybody actually wait that long? Can you wait that long? I'm not sure I can. It's going to be too long. That's the wrong. What is this? 100. That's wrong. Hold on a second. It's the wrong. I'm doing the math in my head here. My bad. What did I say? 61. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Wrong date. Wrong day. I did that math wrong. 16 January. Okay, there you go. 16 January. That's when we're looking up for the next big move. Okay, we're only currently 28 days from that. So if those historical correlations between gold and Bitcoin play out, we got about 60 days before a major move. That doesn't mean the move can't start before that, but you'd expect a big move on Bitcoin. Hopefully not to the downside. Just gonna point that out. You just the upside, okay? Lark is shaking back and forth because XRP is still over $2. Lol. It's a pretty good one. Lark, people are stressing some at their lowest point. Hearing of suicides and you're laughing like I stepped out of a party. Seems a bit off. Look, Meta Rover. Here's the thing. Would you prefer I come on here and say the sky is falling, repent now, sell all your shit, get the fuck out, never invest in markets again, panic to the max? Is that going to help anybody? I don't think so. Look, I understand people are having a hard time. I understand people have suffered. Okay, we talk about that. I prefer not to talk about it every episode because I don't think it's the best thing for us to focus on. Okay, I'm more of an optimist in this life. And I think that positive things generally happen. Okay, that the doom forecasters are right once in a blue moon, but the optimists are right more often than not. Okay, so there's that. We've talked about it. We talk about, not taking too much risk. I mean, 10-10, obviously, a lot of people got completely zeroed out, which is insane. It's tragic, and we've heard about people doing the unthinkable, and it's tragic, man. It really is. And I know people are hurting. Okay, I've been here for a long time in these markets. I understand how the flow goes. Prices are up, everyone feels like a fucking genius. Prices go down, everyone feels like an idiot. I get it. Okay, I've been here making and losing money in these markets for a long time. I know. Okay, I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm not trying to make a big joke out of anybody who's having a hard time. Okay, absolutely not. I'm here to try to present the data for you, the news that I'm finding. Okay, support your education and your decision-making process in these markets. Am I right? Will the big analysts be right about any sort of bullish narratives? Maybe, maybe not. Will the bulls or will the bears be right this time and everything's going to go to zero? Maybe not. Okay. But without a doubt, I'm not out here trying to say that anybody's, I'm not trying to laugh at anybody. Okay. You're laughing like I stepped out of a party. We try to keep things light around here. You know, we try to have a good time, even when the markets are down. Might consider it to be gallows humor, but it is what it is. Anyway, Meta Rover, man, I understand. People are having a hard time, man. So I don't think he's a moron. I don't think that's the right thing to say either. Look, I understand some people are having a hard time. I get it, man. I get it. I really do. So it's tough sometimes, guys. This investing thing is brutal and it can really screw you up bad. Okay. Especially when how many times do I got to say, never invest more than you afford to lose? I know we all invest more than we can afford to lose. Okay. Nobody likes losing money, but really is important to manage risk in these markets. Okay. And if you are at that situation now where you're stressing out, having a hard time, then make that a lesson for yourself for the future. Guess what? Markets always bounce back. I know if you're invested in all kinds of random shit coins and meme coins and all kinds of stuff like that, those coins may not bounce back. Okay. But markets always bounce back, even from the roughest conditions. Okay. Anyway, there you go. Let's see if the gold Bitcoin correlation plays out or not. Okay. Currently, I don't have any trades open. Got stopped out on a few trades last week. I got signed out here. Okay, fine. Here we go. Put the deal up here. Don't have any trades open right now over on BitUnix. Got stopped out on a couple last week, which is super annoying. So I feel like we're getting close to. I'm going to look at the charts in a minute, but might open something up. I'll let you guys know if I do between now and then. But I'd like to see the market show a little bit more strength. I don't have to perfectly catch the bottom. It's fine. Anyway, if you want to join trading over on BitUnix, they've actually extended the crazy deposit deal they have going here. You guys loved it so much, they decided to extend it for the 2 weeks. So you put in $1,000, you get $200 back, 2,000, you get 400, 5,000, you get 700. And they have insane whale bonuses. 50K, you get $5,000 back, 100K deposit, you get $10,000 back. Man, these are crazy deals, okay? Link down below. Go check it out. You can start joining me trading over on BitUnix. Be able to anyone, anywhere, deep liquidity. They got all the big coins you guys want to trade. Go check it out. So, Bitcoin. Where are we at right now? Okay. Check this out. Bitcoin right now. I'm pretty flat over the weekend. Okay. Weekend, low liquidity time. The good news is that over Saturday, Sunday, we didn't nuke even further. Okay. That's the good news. Well, I mean, we did get down to 93,000. I really got down to 92.9 over the weekend, huh? Anyway, we got down there a little bit. All right. But it's largely been flat for the closes, wicks aside. The tricky part now is we're now at the bottom of the wedge. Okay. So this is overhead resistance now. Want to get back into that wedge and then break out of the wedge to the upside. We are so far into the 20-day EMA right now. It is crazy. Okay. So we need to see price rally at least back up to the 20-day EMA, which will be the next testing ground. Back up to the 20-day EMA. Okay. Then you can look for breakouts. Problem is, next time we retest the 20-day EMA, you want to see some volume back in that move, man, because that's where you're going to get rejected again if you're going to get rejected. 20-day EMA retest, again, new lows followed by that. If you don't break out of the 20-day EMA with some kind of conviction, okay? Just FYI. Now, this, of course, what's worrying everybody in the market right now. That is not good. That is not good. When we close under the 50-week SMA, which is a little bit above the EMA or the EMA, traditionally, that has signaled the end of the bull market. It's over, okay? So if you subscribe to that theory, chances are there will be a decent relief rally at some point, dead cat bounce of some variety, and that'll probably give you the ability to exit some positions, probably still at a horrific loss, but less horrific than it could be in 6 months if this is really the start of the bear market, okay? Now, my thought on this, it's important, but I'm going to give it another week or two. The reason being, the TGA account is about to start getting drained worth of hundreds of billions of dollars of liquidity re-entering the markets. Okay. Government is back open. Things can return to normal. When the government was shut down, you basically had a situation. Yes, Joseph, there's a chance that this could be a fake out. And I think the reasoning is this, okay? The reasoning is this. Government shutdown, liquidity basically seized up across the system. You had all these banks with real stress starting to happen, okay? And you combine that with everything else going on. Loosening monetary policies, Fed's rate cutting, QT's ending, all this kind of stuff. We are in a very interesting situation right now in terms of the total macroeconomic picture. Things are getting looser, not tighter. Now, the jobs market is indeed a concern, and you want to see some kind of movement there in the positive direction soon. Otherwise, it's going to weigh pretty heavily on markets, okay? But other than that, things are pretty okay. And that's a pretty big other than that, because the jobs market is incredibly important as an early indicator of a potential coming recession. But Trump wants to run it hot, okay? Lark is completely confused. He's been brainwashed by Arthur Hayes and Raoul Powell. All right, man. All right. Sounds good, buddy. Stop the rocking. No. I always try to keep really still. That's not going to work. Could all this good news be the sell the news event? Maybe. Trump will not want the Lark. Everyone deals with stress differently. I tend to joke to de-stress. I can understand why Larkins make a late situation. Trump won't want the market to completely tank. I would also agree. He's got a stationary bike. Just realized that bike thought he's high. Oh, yeah, we're just, woo. Nope. Just getting a little bit of exercise in, guys. Just get a little bit of exercise in. See how it works out today. Don't try to catch falling knives. Take profits, cut losses, wait till 2027. Maybe this chart right here, that would be it, wouldn't it? If you think again, the close under the 50-week EMA, which is a very critical line. I do not argue that in the least bit. Very, very critical line, especially historically. Now, this cycle's also been basically nonstop, what do they call it? Subverting expectations. New all-time high before the Bitcoin halving. No end-of-year rally, at least not yet. October's usually great. November's usually great. They've been sucking so far, okay? A lot of other things, too. ETFs got basically very little bid for a long time. So perhaps it's another fake out again. And the fake out argument would be that because of the U.S. government shutdown, liquidity seized up, and we're about to return to normal liquidity situations over the next week or two, and that'll bring us back up. But yes, the counter argument is no, don't fade the 50-week EMA. It's all over. Get out now, especially if you get a relief rally, right? So I can't tell you guys what to do with your money. I'm never here to do that, right? That is not what we do on this channel, okay? We talk about news, try to educate a little bit, have a bit of fun once in a while. But if you believe that, then yeah, time to cut and run. But you got to make your own decision. We have not closed a weekly candle under the 50-week EMA like this for a long time. It is a very worrying signal, okay? Just FYI. But then again, Warren Blasted's top blasting into Google and all that kind of stuff. So let's see. Will BlackRock use Bitcoin to compete against BRICS? I believe yes. That's an interesting question. Anyway, continuing. Alex Kruger. Oh, we got a lot to get through still. All right, come on. Alex Kruger. That was hawkish Fed repricing, called it AI doomerism. Data says doomers are wrong. Profit taking, high beta unwinds, negative gamma, plus momentum, bottom in or close. Macro fundamentals did not change. Yes. This is the thing that keeps me optimistic on the markets. If we were entering a regime where the Fed's talking about rate hikes, where they're talking about introducing QE, not ending QE, potentially starting QT, potentially starting QE, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, extraordinarily poor bounce from Bitcoin relative to the others. This is not the end of the cycle, but questioning the upside and if it's worth my time. Maybe it's a matter of ignoring it to the end of the year. Yeah, potentially. Negentropic. The TGA drain starts today. Historically, its liquidity flow leads Bitcoin by roughly 1 week. Again, that's the bear trap. That's the fake out on the 50-week EMA. If the TGA actually injects liquidity, gets the markets rocking again, then we got to look for a weekly close at the end of this week, back above the 50-week EMA. If we don't get that, I think the case for short-term bullish uptrend continuance fades pretty fast. Okay. Polygon is dead. It's not dead. Just been kicked in the balls too many times. Anyway, during 2019 shutdown, Bitcoin bottom recovered over 12 days. Liquidity normalized. This has been the most challenging stretch of liquidity squeeze. Its peak effect hit this week. Reopening government released an estimated $150 billion in excess TGA liquidity, providing a meaningful tailwind as it enters the markets. With economic data pause, uncertainty has driven near-term repricing. NVIDIA's earnings next week offer the next clear signal for risk. The worst is likely behind us. This setup is improving. Patience is key. Oh, yeah. I always like to say when markets are down, you know, we are the ones who come to invest in one of the most volatile, risky markets in the world. A place where you can literally lose all your money in a second, as 1010 proved to us, okay? And then people get surprised. Oh, everybody likes the upside volatility. Nobody likes the downside volatility, do they? Yep. Are you long or short? I guess I'm long because I have not closed out all of my spot positions, right? But other than that, I don't have any futures positions open. Longing from here, that would probably be the play in my book, at least for a dead cat bounce, at the very minimum. Shorting from here, I think it's a very crowded trade right now, and you've come down to these key areas of price support and peak fear and all that kind of stuff. Shorting would have been good from, you know, the previous EMA retests. Let me just give you an example here. If you're looking to short the market, short it here from 106, short it here from 111, right? Something like that. Those would be the short opportunities. Shorting from down here, yeah, maybe you're right. We dropped to the lower 80s. Man, the risk reward there is not fantastic, though. Okay. And look, the market structure is not super supportive of longing either. We're literally going to resistance on the bottom of this wedge. We have the 20-day EMA overhead and all that kind of stuff. If you get a rally up, like I said, to the 20-day EMA, that's either long or short trigger for me. So if you want to go short, 20-day EMA, watch for rejection, go short, potentially new lows, or at least for a double bottom. Breaks out beyond there, that could be the long signal as well. Okay. You don't have to try to perfectly catch the bottom down here. You can wait for a stronger indication of strength either way. Okay, gosh darn, continuing. Raul Pal says, I think this week the Fed's hand will be forced to tweak plumbing to avoid a month-end and year-end funding crisis. Crypto is currently trading like a stressed funding vehicle reflecting the broken plumbing, while stocks are cushioned by buybacks and performance chasing for now, but a risk repeat of 2018-2019 if not solved immediately. It's clear the Fed's concerned, hence the meeting with banks. That's right, there was an emergency meeting at the Fed over the weekend, so that should tell you a lot about what you need to know about how liquidity is in the system right now, okay? It's clear the Fed are concerned, hence the meeting with the banks and the NY Fed to understand why the SRF isn't being tapped enough to resolve it. The fear for markets and the Fed is rising, okay? TLDR, you can hear the cowbell in the distance getting rapidly louder and closer. That will usher in the 2026 cycle extension as $7 trillion of interest payments need to get serviced. Yes. Donnie, about the 50-week moving average. So I don't think closing below the 50-week moving average will result in a typical cycle top for BTC this time. Bitcoin's microstructure is in every prior cycle has been entirely different. The parabola stage has been the byproduct of a massive risk on rotation out of golden equities, where capital was drawn in through some attention-grabbing catalyst. Well, that window of risk was open and liquidity cycle was peaking. Portfolios inflated across the board, a temporary violent concentration of risk on flows, peak global liquidity, peak retail participation, peak narrative hype, peak risk appetite. Hence the extreme parabolas in short time spans. And why moving average support lines matters so much. Think of it like a hyped up attention growing meme coin. You lose the moving averages, it's over. An 8% correction follows with haste. I truly believe the market structure has shifted permanently for BTC. Losing the 50-week moving average is not going to result in a cyclical downturn. I also think BTC and crypto will receive a similar liquidity injection out of gold and equities before we hit any sort of cyclical top, relative to where the dollar is and where it's likely heading. Okay? So I expect massive buyer interest to become reality. I struggle to believe BTC as a speculative toy anymore with BlackRock and the US government pushing it. There's a lot more to come. Good. Excellent. That fits my bias. Fantastic. Charting guy posted this one. If this is a bear market, we're reading that. I know some guy mentioned earlier, like, hey, put yourself somewhere else. The little bubble I'm in here. It's tricky. You put it down at the bottom, then kind of gets stuck under the time bar and stuff on YouTube. Put it on the other side. You also block a bunch of stuff. But anyway, I read the tweets out. People's opinions and stuff like that, react to those. Charting guy, if this is a bear market, then the relief rally in the next 2.5 months will be great with a lower high BTC and mini altcoin season. If this is a bull market, then we just witnessed the greatest bear trap in history. I'm holding and chilling, waiting for the decision to be made. Yep. Good. Coin Bureau posted this. Crypto Quant reports inflows at levels for stablecoins hit 7.3 billion. The levels last seen December 2024, right before Bitcoin blasted past 67K, ran to 108K. Huge amount of money sitting on the sideline on exchanges right now. Okay. Big money here. Next one we got here for you. Michael Saylor hints at buying more Bitcoin. Big week, he says. Bitcoin therapist coming in with the hopium. Expect a massive purchase somewhere in the ballpark of $1 billion. Whoa, man, we could really use a $1 billion. We could really use a $1 billion Saylor buy here. That'd make the markets happy, wouldn't it? We'll see, though. Previously, over the last few months, his buys have been pretty small. Okay. Clem, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Bitcoin dominance of market cap dominance for Bitcoin. Okay. This is what you call the kiss of death. Kiss of death is when you lose key moving averages. These are the weekly, 20 and 50 week EMAs. Price rallies back up to the underside, gets rejected. Currently happening now. Remember, we've also lost 50 week EMA on Bitcoin right now. And that we want to see that rally back up very quickly, not put us in a position like this where we just dump for weeks on end. Okay. That's what's been happening in Bitcoin dominance, though. Since it got to 66% back in June, it has been dumping nonstop. And now we have the kiss of death, which would be supportive if things don't completely fall to pieces. Risk attitudes. Okay. Risk. That's what people are going to go into. There's a hope for your dog coins, guys, if that happens. If we see Bitcoin dominance drop from its current 60% level down to even down to here at the 200 week would be a breather room for altcoins. If you actually got to move down to similar levels of the previous cycle, look at this. Okay. This May 2021, all the way until January 23, which I know we went through the whole bear market. Don't get me wrong, but Bitcoin dominance was very low throughout that whole time, but it was particularly this, okay? Particularly this. The loss of retest up to the underside and the inevitable fall down here that set off one of the greatest altcoin seasons of history. And it happens very fast, okay? Very fast. Oh my gosh. We got to keep going. We're getting too distracted here. ETH overtakes BTC. There is officially flipped Bitcoin and share of total supply held by digital asset treasury companies as a percentage of market cap of that coin. Okay. Lark, what's going on with the S16Z? The migration Eliza OS tokens absolutely screwed. Shaw took all my money again. I should have set a manual stop on it. I forgot to. And now I'm down horrifically. Good times. Thanks, Shaw. Thanks. Taking all my money again. Those guys. Anyway. ETH. Check this out. Now, we've been talking about how we've been in this crazy downtrend here in the MACD, crazy downtrend on the RSI. When those break, expect a very large move out of ETH. Right now as well, we have a RSI bullish divergence. So a low on the RSI on the 4th of November. Over here on the 16th, 15th of November, we have a higher low price. Low on the 4th of November, lower low on the 16th of November. That's a bullish divergence, okay? Okay. Potential double bottom here as well. Lots of things like about the ETH chart right now. If these divergences play out and we actually start bouncing here and get back above the 20-day EMA around $3,500. Okay. Target of the double bottom be 40 to 100 bucks if it plays out. Solana, similar situation right now. We have a bullish RSI divergence. Okay, very long downtrend here on the, bring this back up here. MACD, you can see lower peaks, RSI, lower peaks. When we get the breakout from those, again, we're gearing up for a massive move. Solana still trading very cleanly within this channel, even over the weekend, even throughout all the drama. We found support at the bottom side of the channel with now a bullish RSI divergence forming up. Markets at this point, again, unless some real bullshit happens today, would favor the bulls, okay? At least for a dead cat bounce, the very minimum. But we need to start seeing some real strength building back into the cryptocurrency markets here. It's been a pretty rough ride recently, as you guys have known, because you've been here riding through the shit with me, okay? Pump fell out of our triangle. Don't like that. Much like with Bitcoin, we want that to be a very, very short-lived experience where the price start trading back within that triangle very, very quickly. Otherwise, not great. Not great. Hey, Aster, by the way, one of my bags is doing halfway decently. It's only like 40% underwater right now. Yay. Pumping pretty nicely. It's nice to see, actually. Big, fat, rounded bottom on the sucker. Like that. Rock and roll. I think when we break out of this level right here, Aster's probably going to a pretty nice move there, okay? Do not fade the Binance, guys, all right? Guys, but that's not the news area. It's free. It's awesome. The link's down below. We do equities. We do trades of the day. We do DGEM picks of the day. All kinds of stuff like that. Go check it out. It's free. Right down there. Okay, so it's time. We're going to just keep piling the stuff on here, guys. Get the red light hat going. Get the sparkling water going. Sell everything, take some longs, make all your money back. If you're right. If you're right. What are the chances of Aster flipping Hyperliquid? I feel like Hyperliquid's got an incredible organic community of big whales that really love and support it because of the ethos behind Hyperliquid. Aster has got some pretty cool stuff too with their dark pools and all that, and Binance backing and a lot of big East Asian whales. Doesn't need to flip it. I just need to go to $10. I don't care if it flips Hyperliquid or not. I just need to go to $10 so I can sell it. Be fantastic. Aster being 2 billion market cap is so low, way more potential. Yep. I agree. A lot of potential there. 4 weeks till Christmas. Holiday closes up again until early January. Yep. Don't think Trump wants to be remembered for the worst bull run ever. Oh, yeah. They're trying to pump it, man. Trump's got those trillions of dollars of investments. He wants to put a Fed guy in that's going to bring rate. Trump's believed the rates have been too high since he started his presidency, but he can't force the separation of powers. He cannot force Jerome Powell to lower rates, but he can pick the next guy who's going to come in and bring rates down to like 1%. Are you cycling, breathing, and talking all at the same time? I don't even know. I don't even know. Crypto doesn't run on an egg timer. 4-year cycle myth is just retail copium trying to make sense out of the irrational retail market. I think the 4-year cycle was fun, and it largely lined up with the credit cycles, the business cycles, all kinds of stuff. But now you have a delayed business cycle. So it's pretty hard to argue, well, we're just going to magically top here for all markets when the business cycle is not topped. I'm a business cycle maximalist now, apparently. Nothing is breaking out. It's all going to zero to zero. Coffee ready to go, Sue. Love it. Cheers. Lark can't wear a hat. It's a very big hat, actually. It's like a, I don't know. You see inside. It's actually a much larger hat than you think it would be. It's quite, because they got to fit all those red lights in there. Lark, the bear market will be over June 2026 when the Fed cuts massively 300 basis points. The next 6 months will go sideways. I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest. Have a nice dead cat bounce. Just enough to get everybody all excited again, and then it all goes to zero for months on end. Stocks correct. S&P 500 weekly MACD is not looking very pretty right now. Everything corrects for a few months. Bring new Fed guy in, pump it up again for the second half of next year. Could see that. Check out the AVAX chart. Avalanche. Let's have a look here. AVAX, man. AVAX, one of the coins I should have sold 10 times over and invested in, well, maybe not literally anything else, but certainly could have put it into like, if I'd only put it in stocks. $15, man. It's wild. That's wild stuff, man. This is the top back here in 2021. This is where the price got to on the recent rally in September. Right back up to the trend line resistance. I know it's not a perfect trend line because it cuts through these ones right here. I understand that. But anyway, looks like a lot of coins right now. It's trading. Oh, that's the weekly chart, actually. But see if we can get a little more hope on the daily here. It's been a pretty weak coin this cycle, to be honest. All the EMAs are stacked in the wrong direction. We do have the MACD starting to trend up back towards the zero lines a ways away, though. It has been pretty damn oversold here, too, but RSI is slowly trending back in the right direction, too. Ever since 1010, this thing's just been pretty wiped out, to be honest, chart-wise. Multiple rejections on the 28 EMA. It is close to the 28 EMA in a lot of coins, though. So if you're a real AVAX bull and you want to trade this for some reason, watch for that 28 EMA breakout over about 1750. Try to go long from there, especially if it lines up with decent breakout on the RSI and the MACD, okay? But not loving that chart. Man, we've been rejected at that trend line a few times, 3 times. I guess the 3 times I made the trend line. But now, yeah, it's tricky, man. I remember back here, this was late last year. I remember this. I remember talking about this. Like, oh, shit, we're going to break. Guys, we're breaking out. We got the volume. We got the breakout beyond the trend line. Just down we went. Down we went. Most of these altcoins, of course, unless Zcash, apparently, but most of these altcoins just trade completely in line with what majors do, with the Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum are doing. Everything else kinds to basically follow right along. Oh, yeah. Elias OS also needs a rebrand. Yes, it does. Okay. USDT dominance. Let's have a look. Jonathan, let's have a look at that. It's an interesting one. Here we go. And draw a nice little trend line here. Like that. I'd say it's at a very interesting place right now. Very, very interesting place. You can see it's been on a pretty strong uptrend in terms of the RSI here, putting in these higher valleys the whole way up, basically. MACD is getting pretty wild on that one. Coming back up to a key trend line here as well. A lot of cash sitting on the sidelines, essentially. But it is an uptrend, but it's also at a point of potential massive rejection. So you want to see it get rejected there. That would line up with Bitcoin dominance getting rejected on the weekly EMAs as well. So keep an eye on that. Pi market top indicator hasn't crossed, not even close. True. Basically, not a single on-chain signal we normally watch has happened. That's the frustrating thing. The top came in without any top signals, essentially. Anyone mining midnight? That's the new is a Cardano side chain? Is that what they're doing? Charles and I DM'd the other day. I might try to get him on for an interview at some point in the not so distant future. Apparently, he's coming to Dubai at some point. So I might do an interview with Charles, man. I'd love to ask him some pretty heated questions about the current state of Cardano and everything else going on. This is a very, very true statement. No one knows what's going to happen. I love that statement. Was it Socrates? Was it Aristotle? One of those old Greek dudes. He said, all that I know is that I know nothing. It's very liberating when you understand this. You try to look at markets and go, what the hell is going on here, man? You try to do your best, okay? That's why I'm not out here telling you guys what to do with your money. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with my own money. I lose money all the time, but I make money sometimes too. And when you make money, you usually make more than you've lost, in crypto especially, okay? It's markets. Try to invest in not total dog shit, and you'll usually come out on top, especially if you have a time frame that works or strategies that you think will try to work. Anyway, but nobody knows really what's going to happen in markets. We can look at our models. We can look at historical precedences, all this kind of stuff, but no one's got a crystal ball. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Manage your risks. Diversify. Try not to be 100% crypto if you can be. You'll sleep better. Jason. I don't know Jason. Jason walking looks normal. Maybe I should just walk out on the beach and do a live stream. $2024 is more bullish than 25. Ironically, yes. Sold half a position at 117, fell stupid, went higher. Hey, you know, no one ever perfectly times tops, whether it's the top or just a local top. But I'm happy now. Yeah, it's hard pressing the sell button on stuff, right? A lot of people struggle with ever taking anything off the table. Felt stupid, went higher. Seller regret often works in both directions, right? You never perfectly sell the top, so when it goes higher, you regret selling. Or you panic sell because you think it's going to go to zero, and then it doesn't go to zero, and you sell the bottom, and it goes higher. At least they're selling high. I love it. Good time to buy a LISOS? I have no idea. I still have my bag for some reason. Why didn't I set a manual stop loss? Anyway, whatever. I don't know. It's a very controversial project. Don't know how it's going to go. Lark is also massively afraid of lawsuits. Everyone's afraid of lawsuits. No, look, I don't know what that was exactly in response to, but you know, people often ask, Lark, what should I do with this thing? I have no idea, man. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know your financial situation. How can I give that kind of advice? Not only am I not licensed to give that kind of advice, but it's a very complicated thing. It's a very personal thing. And I've never been of the opinion that people should borrow conviction from others, okay? When you guys come here to watch videos, I hope you're having a good time. I hope we educate a bit on some stuff. I hope we have a few laughs along the way. I appreciate that you value my opinions on whatever things I have opinions on. But one thing I don't do, of course, is giving out financial advice to people, because how can you do that? You know, you come here, you ask a question and try to, I don't have a crystal ball, again. So how can I know what's going to happen in the markets? You know, simple stuff, though, always applies. The golden rules of investing, buy index funds, dollar cost average Bitcoin, all that kind of stuff, right? These are sort of just golden rules of classical investing. In terms of short-term trading and stuff like that, I'll share my trades with you guys, but I won't tell you guys what trades you should take, right? Because I don't know. You know, that's the thing is, what I might take on risk-wise may not be other people's risk portfolio. Other people invest in shit that's way riskier than I would ever consider investing in. So on and so forth. Investing is a very personal journey. And that's what's so interesting about it. And it's also very liberating. You have to put you on your big boy pants when you invest, because you have to realize that the only person responsible for your investments is you. Even if you try to outsource that and say, oh, I'll put it in a mutual fund or whatever. Yeah, but that was your choice to put your money there. So if they underperform the market, that's on you, man, right? People always want to have somebody to blame. That's okay. If you guys ever want to use me as your punching bag, I'm here digitally for you to abuse. It's fine. The last years aged me at least 10 years. Feel you, man. That's David. That's a very interesting take. We have been in a bear market since December 2024, and even though Bitcoin's gone to make new highs, everything else has essentially been a bear market. It is a very interesting take. And I think it was Bitwise's Matt Hugan was saying something similar along the lines that I've heard a few other people talk about as well. And if you look at the charts, certainly feels like we've been in a pretty bearish situation for a lot of the year, especially for a lot of coins. There have been some runners, don't get me wrong. Bitcoin's obviously made new highs this year, but not by a lot. It's interesting. AVAX is dead, Polygon's dead, Link is dead, Lark is alive. Lark, are you on Adderall right now? No, we do not do those kind of things, guys. Best I have a drink once in a while. That's about it. You're doing all right, Lark. Lou's just looking for someone else to blame instead of themselves. It's like I've said many times throughout the, when we lost the 208 EMA and stuff like that. Like, well, it's always time to get out. If you be, again, for people who believe that we're entering into a deeper, longer term bearish situation, there you go. They go into cash. Go into cash. People get super stressed out about stuff. You can go into cash. Cash is a position too. My choice to not or to go into cash. Share it with you guys when I make those kind of decisions, of course, but shouldn't influence your decision to do it when I do it. And people did it before me. A lot of my altcoin bags are down. I don't really care all that much. It's fine. But this is the thing. It's all a matter of time and perspective too. My Bitcoin positions are up massively, for example. So it's always a bit of relativity to everything, isn't it? Knock it off the clickbait, mate. But losing the 50-day weekly EMA is a problem. How? I have no idea. I have no idea what clickbait is then. Because in my mind, clickbait is when you say one thing in the title, but then talk about something totally different. That, to my mind, is clickbait. Where we do have a problem. We talked about that problem. Losing the 50-week EMA. It's problematic. You want a ball? No, I want an exercise bike. I did buy Fartcoin. We take risks. I didn't go all in on it. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to put a whole fucking portfolio in Fartcoin. No. But I'll take risks, man. I will take risks in these markets. I'm in these markets all the time. I'll take risks and all kinds of crazy shit, including on Fartcoin. Okay? Lark, you were saying back and forth a lot today. I don't think so. I think there's a pretty clear bull case for the macro side. Okay? Charts for a lot of stuff are not looking super fantastic. That's a problem. Pretty obvious. Can this be a bear trap that bounces back out because the macro is still being relatively good? In a lot of cases, for sure. So I think my case has been pretty clear on it. I have remained in positions because I think that the macro is still supportive of risk taking in the market. That's it. But obviously we need to watch the charts. Charts are not looking fantastic. They haven't been looking fantastic for a little while right now. Why are you pacing? We're riding the... I can't really pick. It's too heavy to pick up right now. I mean, it's not that it's like too heavy for me, but because I had my hernia surgery, I'm recovering pretty well, by the way. But I'm not supposed to lift up heavy stuff, and this thing probably weighs, I don't know, 25 kilos or something like that, which is probably more than I should try to be lifting up. But I'd lift up and show it to you otherwise. JP Morgan is partnered with Coinbase. Yeah, the fundamental stuff. Plato's filthy drunkard. Wouldn't be surprised. Ah, those guys. Enjoy your videos. Thank you. Appreciate you. Literally the biggest wealth transfer of history in humanity. No one is seeing light at the end of the tunnel because they're too caught up on small time frames from the charts. I dig that, man. Swinging back and forth on the bike. Got it. Sorry, it's hard. If I miss the context of something, few interesting comments coming through today on the people on the bearish side of things. So anyway, do you think pump will come back? I think so. I think pump will come raging back. They're still doing $1 million a day of buybacks, man. Simon Dixon has the macro we all need. Simon Dixon's a definite OG in the space. Like that guy a lot. Having a beer. Let's go. Let's go. This is actually Perrier, but let's go. Cheers, man. The ETF rug pull will be biblical. Said for a long time. When the ETFs start having massive outflows out of the market, great on the way up, terrible on the way down. So let's see again what happens this week. If we have another $2-3 billion of outflows this week, man, that's problematic. That's problematic. If we have buyers this week, flips the script, doesn't it? So we'll see. Like I said, I think this next 2 weeks become really critical for the market. Not a fan of you doing the biking while streaming. Apologies for that. That's not something I'm going to do all the time. So screw it. I'm going to hop on the bike today. I usually actually do it in the evenings. Tends to be a pretty convenient time to do it. Anyway, there we go. We're going to finish up there for today. We're almost at an hour. You guys are great. I appreciate your time. Everybody's time, by the way. Appreciate all you guys bringing in the counter perspectives, the bearish perspectives as well. I understand there's a lot of pain and fear in the market right now. I get it. I see the comments. I'm here with you guys. I see the charts, okay? That being said, you guys are awesome, okay? I'll see you back tomorrow for the next stream. Peace.